click the button?
I
What does
clicked
that
the
mean
streaming
exactly?
button.
What does that
swear
mean
to God,
exactly?
Cat.
No, that's
Well,
over. Why
time
are
has
you so
come to
confused
push the
today?
button.
Oh, I'm getting an ad.
Push the button.
You're getting an ad?
Yeah. I suppose since I'm a moderator, but I'm no longer subscribed, I'm seeing an advertisement.
What a sweet mercy of f are you?
Good question.
What a nerd.
I need to stop getting job recommendations for a little bit. That is like a point of stress in my life that I am just glad I don't have to have anymore. Stop getting job recommendations.
All right, we're
Really
live.
envious of that.
Awesome!
Your mom's alive. Ha!
You don't know that. That's fucked up.
I mean, I hope so. Yeah. So here we are. Let me make sure.
Our starts are always very professional.
Mine are usually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Mine are usually pretty good.
I don't know what you want from me. I'm a showman.
I'm Dottie, your digital officer during emergencies.
That's
No.
spooky.
Dottie, can you stab Cody for me?
That's from the alien. That's push the button.
Push the button. Yeah.
Push the button.
All right, I just
Wow,
subscribed.
you subscribed to the Prime. What about Shane?
Oh man, is that what happens when you push the button?
I already have. I'm like subscribed to Shane for like the next 48 months.
How and why?
Money and because he's cool.
Jeez, Hunter. No wonder why you never have money. You subscribe to Shane for 48 months.
I mean, it's like $50 to get a whole bunch
Wow,
of
Hunter,
sub months.
that's like a bunch of meals from Burger King.
Why specifically Burger King?
I don't
Anyway,
know,
cheap,
'cause it's the
man.
first one
It's
that
so
came to
not
mind.
Burger King.
McDonald's is much cheaper than Burger King.
Not for nuggets.
Well, for nuggets, maybe not, but you just get a McChicken and that's a mega nugget.
A McChicken is not a mega nugget.
No.
You guys are talking about Burger King and McChickens, and there's a Wendy's ad when I tried to join the Zweihander channel.
oh
It's
yeah,
listening.
it is listening.
That would be that's the ultimate power move. Just not to market chicken, burger, Wendy's. You market under Burger King. You market under McDonald's.
Yeah.
Wild.
All right. Well, so here we are. We
I
are
don't know. I'm not sure where I'm at.
live for episode 16.
I never know where I am.
Who would have ever thought we would make it this far?
I think I'm in Purtzwell.
I mean,
The last place I
they
remember.
haven't fired us yet.
That's
It's
true.
like $16.
They haven't.
Nate's
$16.
efforts.
They have not revoked
Yeah.
our contract.
Yeah,
My
it's
best
like-
efforts. It hasn't happened.
The
Constant
captain's
effort.
like, hey, I'm just letting you guys know you're gonna be fired this afternoon
Yeah.
with the real life firing squad.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
only. That'd be great. I'd
Um,
really appreciate that.
And so yeah, we're here on the ZweihanderRPG Twitch channel. This is again episode 16 of Scarlet Sash Stories, and I'm joined here today by a group of wonderful friends who are part of
Why?
the cast
Wow.
of Scarlet
Not
Sash
wonderful.
Stories.
I'm wonderful.
No, you're not. Shut up.
I am Hunter. I'm the DM of this group, I suppose GM.
Yeah, use the
And
proper term.
yeah, we've been going for a few months now, like six months, more than
Not bad,
that.
we're close.
16 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 4 months.
Yeah, but you also gotta take
What was
into
some
account the
breaks?
times
Yeah, we
where
skipped some
missed.
break. Yeah.
With a month and so maybe 5 months. Yeah, you're probably right. Okay.
Probably
'Cause it
pretty
was
close to 6, 'cause
March.
There was like a 3-week break we took at one point, I think, because stuff just kept coming up.
Yeah, that's when we went to Vegas.
How dare you?
This is the most time
yeah.
I've ever heard you guys in my life.
So yeah, we will introduce the other cast members. Starting at the top, we have Nate.
That's me. I'm the worst of the bunch. Everybody knows that. I'm here like every Friday. I play Celine Herzog, the unpredictable, who is the best character that we know everyone looks forward to because I do psycho shenanigans, and I plan to do more of that as well, I'm sure. So, let's go.
And below Nate, we have Topher.
I'm wonderful. I'm Topher. and I play Hart. Just Hart. He doesn't have a last name, I don't think. I mean, I know his last name, but you guys don't know his last name.
Yeah, I don't think I even know his last name.
I don't even
But
think Topher knows.
he's a cool guy, and he's a dwarf, and he's a sellsword, and he's gonna hit things with his two-hand sword.
Well,
That's pretty much it.
he's
Tell
a
them
new
about
thing
the
now.
demons in your blood.
Yeah, but these guys don't know. Like, I mean, I guess we're metagaming outside of the game right now.
Yeah.
But I am a dwarven sellsword / pledged guard. If
Yeah.
anybody's familiar with the Zweihander classes.
With demons in his blood.
Below Topher, we have Cody.
Ohio. I'm Cody. I play Lillian Eldora, the priest of the group who is dedicating themselves to a new god going into their second class.
And to the
We'll
right,
see what it is.
to the right of Cody, we have Chris.
That's me. I play Nab Bandor, who is a halfling dragoon / pistolier, and I just moved, so my lighting sucks, and there are boxes behind me.
And next to Chris, we have Nacho.
I'm Nacho. I'm playing Escrim Brittlefish. She is a frail dwarf, small frail dwarf. She is now a pugilist. She likes fighting with her fist. And she takes advantage of his small stature.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who's not cool enough to be on their second profession yet.
It's
Due
true.
to choices you made yourself.
Hey, when I'm getting more spells, it happens. If I had the cool class where it's like, oh, you always get a critical success when you learn a spell, then I want to be spending RP on spells.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair.
Busted.
So yeah, last session we here actually we'll just move us over there real quick.
We retrieved my book.
Yeah, so we went on a little bit of a side quest.
A jaunt, if you
A
will.
jaunt, yes.
Dang, poltergeist.
Because during an airship battle, Celine channeled some powers from the winds of magic and found herself at the mercy of a chaos manifestation, which just so happened to be probably the worst possible one to roll in the given situation.
Yeah.
Seeing as how they were hundreds of feet in the air on the airship, the chaos manifestation took what was in her hands and tossed it miles away.
Yep. 3 miles away from you.
Yep. And so what happened to be in her hand was her spell book, because she was channeling power. And so the most important item to Celine was hurled over the edge of the airship out into the open air, far, far and away and down to the ground. And so the Celine pleaded with her companions on the airship to stall the mission, retrieve the book, and continue from there. And so they did. Put the airship down and ventured off towards the winds of magic signature of the book that Celine was following, and stumbled across a few creepy things. Ended up coming across a church full of, I've got cat hair in my mouth somehow.
We deserve it.
Church just piled with miscellaneous
With
junk.
hands.
And
Piled with hands.
yeah, and so the orcs that they came in contact with was a handless one with an army of animated hands. Celine attempted to bargain with him some of her contraband, and unfortunately she's really bad at that.
Really bad.
And so negotiations broke down, and the group ended up fighting the hand orcs and killing him, defeating the hands, recovering Celine's book from the church.
And my joint.
Yep, and the witchweed sample that she provided. And
That guy.
this is where we find ourselves. Having
Yeah.
recovered Celine's book, I believe Nab found a pistol, an extra pistol to carry around. And so,
Four now.
mission accomplished. And the group presumably will head back to the airship to rejoin the other Sashbearer companions and continue the flight north to
I have a
Purtzwell.
concussion.
Yep, so Celine received a concussion from a roundhouse kick from the handless orc. And I don't think anybody else really took much damage besides that.
I'm pretty much a badass. So I
Yeah,
don't really
Heart
take
Heart
damage
is
unless I set myself on fire.
Heart is relatively impenetrable
Yeah.
to
But
physical
he
damage.
is known for setting himself on fire.
It has been on fire before.
I can. It's not my fault at all. It was a good plan. It just the 99 ruined everything.
It was a good plan.
And here I was, just trying to kick a little gnome to make a
While
flame
he's
to a
down.
ball.
Yeah.
And, I lit on fire myself. It's
You
fine.
tripped and fell on me.
Is that true?
Probably what happened.
I believe Topher rolled a 100 on his chance
I
to.
believe I did. I
put
was
Celine
next to her
out.
and going to put her out, and I rolled a 100 critical failure.
Yeah, it was
That's
pretty,
ideal.
pretty
You rolled a
impressive.
critical failure. I'm gonna put you on fire.
I did
critical failure.
literally say that.
And then I rolled the worst roll
Yeah.
that I could possibly roll.
I was sure to
Oh,
be
God.
very clear about the potential consequences.
God.
And it was really funny.
But I had a 99% chance not to roll that.
Yeah.
I appreciate the effort. That's for sure. I suppose before we go, Celine will grab a hair tie and put her hair up.
Oh, can I help?
Fine. She's gonna swat you away. No.
You're concussed. I'm gonna take advantage of you and do your hair.
Give
I'm
her
gonna-
a bath.
I can't give her. We're on an airship.
You have
Yeah,
the
you're
water
still
on
at the church,
but
I think.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
for
So the hair tie she finds is probably dirty or got some blood caked on it. Which
Yeah, I
is a
mean,
character.
yeah, you'll find like a dirty scarf or something.
Exactly.
yeah, perfect for you.
Exactly.
will
Dirty.
literally-
Wait, you're doing your hair up with a scarf? Excuse me?
I don't know.
Or
I
like
said
a-
a hair tie, just
yeah,
whatever I could find.
Like a
Well,
kerchief,
Hunter
because
said
some
scarf.
twine or a ribbon.
I would say that scrunchies are not necessarily
Yeah, that's why it'd be like
setting
a twine or
appropriate.
ribbon.
Yeah, like
um,
thread.
yeah, like thread wouldn't work.
It's just a strong thread.
It would, just not very well.
Just some thick boy thread. Thick.
I mean,
Thread got some junk in the front.
at what point does thread become like string or rope? Is the more you thicken it?
Yeah, that's the real question: is what is the distinction between thread and rope? All right, we're gonna put the
Can we
rest of
not
the
get into
section
the
on
semantics
pause.
of this? Jesus Christ!
So
I feel like I'm
Celine-
at work.
Celine ties her hair up.
Cool.
And she enjoys her
When I think
joint.
about
She has a
thread,
killer
I think
headache.
about, something that could go around like an envelope, like small.
Yeah.
When I think about
What?
rope,
When I think about church,
What?
we're at a church right now.
yeah,
Inside this
Alright.
church, is there? What kind of church is this? Can I see remnants of what this church used to be?
Spooky church.
Yes.
Spooky church.
So
Did they worship Spooky?
you, Lillian,
Yes.
you recognize that this just so happens to be a church, an old forgotten church to the Winter King. He would have been sort of long forgotten in this area of the world. As you are flying north, you are flying actually towards the equator, because we're in the southern hemisphere of this world. And so most people in this part of the world associate south with the bitter, cold, and frozen wastes So this is, yeah, again, there are like wolf motifs and sort of like almost Nordic, like Scandinavian style decorations that have long faded, and doesn't look like it's been used. Besides the orc that you killed, hasn't been used in at least 100 years. But there is still a carved wooden altar at the end of the church, sort of embossed with what's the word I'm looking for? Decorative wolf carvings and other symbols of the Winter King, like the snowflake, the tree, that kind of thing.
When I go up to it, I'm basically just gonna walk up to it and sort of just gently run my hands over the carving.
And it is sort of covered in shit. Like, not like literal shit, but like stuff is just piled.
Grime and dirt and
and just like miscellaneous objects.
Like it's just being used as a table.
Yeah, like stuff is like leaning on it and like books and candlesticks and just like everything that the hands have sort of accumulated here has been just sort of set willy-nilly. And so to really appreciate and approach it, you have to clear some of it off. And
just shove it out the way.
Yeah.
Does it feel like there's any power still here?
So yeah, as you clear it off and as you sort of expose the whole altar here on the northern wall, you do get that sort of deep resonance, kind of like when you made that holy symbol of yours, that sort of cold wooden wolf figurine. Similar kind of like reverent energy coming from the altar, almost as if like it's been so long since anybody has approached with the intent of actually using it. It almost kind of recognizes you.
Do you have any music, Hunter?
Oh, I do have music.
Oh.
Oh my god.
It's cool. I just put on the Witcher music.
Let's see.
You can't play that in the stream, though.
That's true.
That's true.
I could see Hunter change. He's going through his music.
Yeah, in the stream, because it's in the same.
Yeah,
Me.
that's funny.
I wish I had something that was a little dimmer than that. That's a little brighter than I want.
Right face.
You don't know.
So the others in the group sort of watch Lillian kind of wordlessly pick her way through the piles of junk here and sort of shoving things out of the way, clearing off this altar at the end of this small church room. And what does Lillian do?
I look up at Hart.
All right,
And
Hart.
I say,
I'll move Hart in there with you.
okay. Hart, come stand before me over here.
And I will do as she asks.
Now, despite my complaints and speaking against it, earlier you ingested a potentially toxic, dangerous, maybe even sentient sludge of some kind.
Celine will squeal.
Now, I am willing to do something for you that would help ensure that you would be fine despite this incredibly reckless decision that you've made. In exchange, You would need to dedicate yourself to myself and to following my commands at the behest of the Winter King.
Milady, you've already saved my life more than once. You needn't even ask.
Bow.
He shall.
And I am going to do the ritual of Blessed Sacrament on Topher here,
Okay.
on Heart, and basically, this is going to take a while, so other people may not want to be here for the whole thing, because it takes a hot minute. This is a full dedication, and I am dedicating you as a person, which basically for the next 6 days, you can re-roll as if using a fortune point for any like potential demonic or possessive or charming features that would try to alter your mind or your perception. I do technically have to roll for this,
Okay.
which would be very funny if it didn't work.
We will reset the tokens, so you would have all 6.
You succeeded.
Hey, you did it.
Somehow.
So this is like the whole process is it starts out sort of like my old instincts of being very like proper and methodical, but as the process goes over the course of an hour, as this dedication is happening, the room grows colder and colder, and the words that I'm claiming become more and more savage and brutalistic as I'm like screaming about laying waste to our enemies and defeating all those that would stand opposed to us, and all this like talking about how under no circumstances will we ever give up or back down until we achieve the goals that we set out for ourselves.
And Hart is unfazed, partially due to his indifference and partially due to the fact that he's already, in his mind, dedicated his life to Lillian for saving his.
And so while Lillian is doing this, Heart, you do feel the sort of magical effects fill your body and spirit. And I will make it your decision. You feel within you the presence of that small amount of the black mass that you accidentally consumed, and you are able to sort of spiritually, like metaphysically, isolate it within yourself, and you feel that you could, if you wished, expel it or not.
Can I control it?
To the extent of what's happening right now, you have the choice to get rid of it or keep it.
Celine Devil on your shoulder. Keep it.
I'm going to say nothing because I want to try to bend it to my will.
Okay.
And use its power for myself.
So you feel it react to that wish, or that like your personal like choice or decision regarding it, sort of fueled by the magic of the Winter King. The mass within you, sort of dispersed across your body, reacts to that choice, but it's not clear if it's like giving up or rebelling or allowing you to control it, but it does remain within you.
Okay.
And it, as part of this process, and you can tell me if you want me to roll for this again, I would also like to use this to do the spell Vow of Fealty. Basically, just the vow being to protect me until your dying day.
Sure. Yeah, you can roll for it.
Cool.
Because there's a crit effect, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Let me roll that. I don't roll spells very often. Ayy.
Success. Yeah, so this sort of protracted religious sacrament between Lillian and Hart, as she sort of baptizes him into this Winter King religion. Yeah, the sort of small church room that you guys are all in cools unnaturally as the power of the Winter King pours in.
It's got like frost.
Yeah,
on my face.
Hart and Lillian are sort of covered in supernatural frost as it Lillian. I love Celine is like, oh, magic.
No, I will ice.
Oh, ice. I thought you were mockingly.
Yeah.
It's like
Lady would probably watch,
religion.
but she would be curious.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty cool, I think. It maybe doesn't sound super cool at first, but when you start hearing the spectral drum beats and the ancestors, like
Yeah, very, very Viking-like sort of ceremony. And it concludes with Hart having sworn himself to Lillian as a disciple of the Winter King, Lillian having blessed him as her pledged guard in their pursuit of, the doctor and freeing themselves from the Sash bearer contract and everything that may come afterward. And does anybody have anything in particular that they would like to do either while this is going on or just while you're at the church?
I imagine Celine's just laying in a pile watching, getting stoned out of her mind.
She's just like, oh yeah.
This is better than I expected it would be.
Yeah, sort of not respectfully or not impressed as she finishes her.
Oh no,
her-
she's very much enjoying the show with her fucking mind out of it now.
Yeah.
She's concussed and fucking high as a kite, bro. This is probably a hell of a trip for her.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
magical in nature. She
I'll
loves
throw you.
that.
When we're done, I'll throw you back on my shoulders.
And so as Hart and Lillian conclude, the frost sort of falls from them as Hart stands up, shaking it off, and you all notice that in Hart's previously almost like jet black dark hair, where the frost falls away, there's a white streak denoting his new allegiance from forehead to back of bleached white, magically touched hair.
Yeah. You're toast from Toast of London.
Racing strike.
And it might not be right down the middle. It's sort of up for Topher to decide. But
Yeah,
There
like
should be
down.
right down the middle.
No, down like the
No,
left side of
he's
my
got
head.
Yeah.
the like charming old man gray.
yeah. The streak of
How old
bleached
is
white.
Hart again?
He's a 58-year-old dwarf,
Oh
How-
shit,
did-
Topher's
How
a
old
Death
do
Eater
dwarves
now.
live?
and he had. Well, I mean,
They live.
in this world, I don't know.
It's same as humans.
Okay, so
Every
you're
every
like-
race is
You're
they
getting
Yeah,
up there.
but I had like dark brown, almost black hair before this.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. I didn't realize you were so old. In the latter part of your life.
Yeah.
oh, sorry, 48.
There you go. even still, middle
Lane's
aged.
over here somewhere in her
Yeah.
early 20s.
You say Celine is?
Well, yeah, I'm considered young, so
Yeah.
I assume early 20s.
So yeah, the ceremony concludes with almost like you all kind of hear, it's almost like in the Winds of Magic themselves, the distant howl of a wolf echoing through the aether as the magic finishes, and Hart and Lillian seal their vow together.
Did they seal it with a kiss? Now
No.
kiss!
Now
Selena
Marie-
would be like, kiss!
When he's kneeled down, I might like hiss the top of his head.
Yeah.
Now I'm a real pledge guard.
No, I'm a
Yeah.
real pledge guard.
And if you ever break your pledge, very bad things will happen to you.
Yeah. We just have to light him on fire again, right?
I mean, he'll be magically
the only-
bad things will happen
Yeah.
to him.
It's the only way to free him of the demons in the blood.
So as Lillian turns back to the altar and sort of the finishing motions of this multi-step dedication, you are filled with the
Termination.
ice cold energy of the Winter King, and you receive a vision, almost like it's like the spoken word in your head accompanied by the supernatural, almost like prophetic sensation, that a messenger of the Winter King is on its way to approach you, as you have brought in a new member of the wolf pack and sealed your dedication to him.
And I'll lean over as the vision hits me against the altar, and I'll just look back over my shoulder and say, something's coming.
Ew, gross.
And the church warms back to normal room temperature, the frost sort of dissipating in the air, and the ceremony concludes.
All right. Well, I think we've got a mission to do, don't we?
I don't know. I got this joint. That's a mission.
All right, come on, Stoner.
Whee!
Yep.
Whee!
Carrying the high
The
and
6-foot
concussed.
elf just like grabs
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and so then if nobody has anything in particular they want to do, the trip back to the airship will be uneventful. You sort of retrace your steps, probably going around the camp of dead Tosk soldiers, but passing by it nonetheless, and returning to the airship. And I will drag us back there. And it is...
My beautiful drawing of the Ice King.
Yeah, that was a very good Ice
Yeah.
King. And the airship is as you left it hours ago. You can see your companion sort of patrolling the
Yeah.
edges, looking out.
Kirby,
Kirby, Among
our
Us,
companions.
both waiting for you.
Silver Surfer among us, just
Yeah.
waiting there.
Silver Surfer Among Us saying babies are sus. And you see everyone besides Borwin, because he was injured in the
Fucked
fight
up.
with the bat orcs. They're sort of patrolling the edges, looking out into the open field. It's evening now by the time you guys return. And Jolie will call from the airship. Hail! Did you find what you were looking for?
Fuck yeah! Hold up that book nice and high and show it off like the showgirls.
And she's like, "All right."
We even kept all our hands.
She's like, Okay, that's
We
good.
We almost brought back some extras.
Hart kind of looks at his hand confused.
They got pretty handsy with nap.
And yeah, so you guys are able to ascend back onto the airship where it's sort of parked on the ground
Celine's
here.
already ascended. Don't worry.
And someone should probably try and heal Celine because she won't start recovering until a successful
I'm all it seriously wounded.
yeah, successful injury.
Throw you when you're caught next to Borwin, and I'll check you out. Is anyone able to help with this?
Yeah, they're Jolie would have heal as well, so you can roll with an assist die. Yeah, so just roll another d10 and we'll see if it. There you go. 27.
Yeah.
And so that
Can
that
you heal
is-
me?
Yeah.
That is
I can do you
just
too.
for the
Mine is
injury.
automatic.
So Nate, I need you to roll. Let me see. Pretty sure it was 1d10 plus 1 days. But let me look real quick.
I'm in full caretaker mode. I'm putting people in their cots and like,
Yep.
all right, let's put these bandages around Celine's head. Borwin, oh yep, you're still bleeding. Gonna have to change those.
Ruin my hair.
Your hair is sopping with blood.
Exactly. It gives character.
Hold you together, a bath.
Fuck you. I took a bath. When did I take the bath?
Are there-
It was the
You
spider
too.
horse?
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm
are
good
there
for
any,
another
um,
week.
Are there any barrels or buckets with water on the airship, like to put out fires or anything?
Yeah,
like
there would be. You would have
Ah,
available.
But we have to be careful because we only have so much drinking water.
Yeah.
What if we get tossed out at sea with no drinking water?
Is there-
We'll have to go down to a lake.
that? Would there be like a bucket around me that I could grab somewhere? Like
Oh,
tied
Yeah.
up on the,
I think
on the
you
deck?
guys-
Being racist.
Didn't you guys like decide to bring the blessed bucket
anti-racism?
of
I think we
anti-racism?
Who knows?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
pretty
gonna,
sure.
Bucket of Saint
I'm gonna-
Lillian.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab a bucket full of water and just throw it over Celine's head.
Okay. This is
Oh,
awful.
you're a hero among the
Do you want me to
twelve.
roll to see if I hit her with it?
Yes.
All right, what do you want me to roll here?
Rolls damage, kills her with the bucket.
Coordination, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
Nice
coordination
fist.
would be good. Yeah, so Nate, roll me a 1d10 real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, so you miss, unfortunately. Celine.
No, I'm gonna flip and roll it
Oh,
again.
dang.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Jesus Christ.
You
That's
just
a
Damn it,
critically
crit.
failed.
You
Fail,
cover
you dump
yourself
it on
in
yourself.
water.
Yeah, you're chasing Celine around the airship, trying to douse her with water.
Her eyes are cartoonish and are
Yeah.
rolling around.
you
Can we
slip in
make
your...
it so that I dump it on myself and then crash into her at the same time? That'd be great.
Yeah, so you like slip on a previous splash of water, and both of you go careening into the wall.
Only Heart takes stress, not me.
Yeah,
This
I
is the
won't
happiest-
inflict any peril on you guys, but
He
That is
Heart
This is
very
the
funny.
happiest you've seen Nab since you've met her. She's just like watching this all with like a complete expression of glee and just laughing her ass off.
I was ready to throw a silver dart at Heart.
blast him. So it'll take 10
No,
days
just
for
throw a silver dart.
your concussion to clear.
Whee! I hope we're on this boat for a while.
So yeah, the Rosette sort of makes preparations to get aloft again, which takes probably an hour or two of clearing the lines and refilling the envelope from the lifting gas tanks in the hold and everything, and making sure that the air screws are all good and everything as the sun slowly sets. And sort of as this is occurring, Lillian, you get that familiar feeling of the Winter King reaching out to you, and
Grab that booty.
sort
I
of
need to go outside.
as everybody is like going about their tasks for getting the airship ready and everything, Jolie and Halora and Halal, they're like doing things around the edge of the ship and pulling up lines and everything. And Halora's like, look at that. And she points off to the edge of the clearing where there's it's a wolf standing sort of right in the shadows of the trees. And as they all kind of stand and look, it becomes apparent that there are many wolves just like scattered throughout the forest surrounding this clearing, sort of peeking out and looking, and just like more wolves than you have ever seen in one place. Oop, that's a little loud. Standing sort of almost surrounding the airship clearing in the sunset, and from the clearing strides out an enormous muscled white wolf, and stands just a little bit ahead of the others to the north of the airship, looking at all of you. And it almost like, it's not words that you hear, Lillian. It's like emotive phrases sort of running through your head. And you know that this wolf has been sent for you as a messenger from the Winter King.
I walk over to the like gangplank, and I look over at Rosie and I say, "I'll be right back."
Yeah.
And she's like kind of nervous. She's like, "Are you sure? Like, we can probably get in the air before any of them get here."
No, this is something that I have to do.
And she's like, all right. Good luck."
Hart instinctively starts to follow her.
I'll let you walk with me to the end of the gangplank, like on like ground level, but then when we get there, I just like hold out my hand
And I stop.
Good boy. Here's a treat.
and I walk
I will dump
across
a bucket on you.
I walk across the open field towards the tree line and the wolf.
And it waits for you, sort of in the clearing. It's just you and this wolf, and sort of in behind it you see scattered throughout the trees just dozens of other smaller, sort of more natural timber wolves. And what stands before you is very clearly not a wolf of this world. This is
How big is it? Can I see like?
yeah, you can all see.
Significantly larger.
It is like 5 foot tall at the shoulder, big, muscular, long white fur of the southern mountain reaches.
Big old dire wolf looking. Buddy.
Yeah, dire wolf looking. Kind of out of place here, but with the sun setting and overcast clouds moving in from the south, this wolf has come for Lillian. And it will eye you as you approach and sort of lower its head almost in reverence, and then kind of square itself on the ground in front of you.
And I'll loose my 2 axes at either side and I'll take up a stance.
And roll initiative.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then
Ooh.
Cody loses.
Ooh, nice.
He might go first.
You do have low initiative, so yeah, give me
What's your plus, Cody?
And that's in the talents and trappings.
In your
Yeah.
your initiative
It's
box.
the
My
middle.
initiative is only 8.
So you got an 18. That's pretty
Yep.
good.
Only
Um,
8, he says. That's pretty good.
An 8 for initiative?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty high.
That's pretty
That's
decent.
an 18.
Yeah.
PB is my lowest. I guess it's not my low. No, it is my lowest in everything.
Because it's what, like 6? Is it 3 plus PB?
3 plus PB.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 3 plus PB. I
My
think 8
base
is probably
initiative
the
is
highest
8.
of all of us.
Like, I get an 11 when I freaking have higher chaos ranks like I do now. So,
Mhm.
But yeah, so you will go first.
I go first.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to let out a billowing charge. I'm going to throw caution to the wind, and I'm going to do the full actual like charge attack.
Yeah. Sure.
So what does that give to me again when I do the charge?
You get an extra D6 of damage should you
Okay,
hit.
cool. Well, I hope I hit. Let's go. There's no modifiers to this, right?
No, it's just a flat attack.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So, I guess I'll have to hit roll over here again. So ignore whatever the
Yeah, we'll look at the
hit
damage.
is.
Damn. Yeah. So roll another D6.
Come on. Let's just. Oh, okay.
So 12 damage.
Yes.
So you charge in, axes whirling, taking a good square hit on its haunches right off the bat. It dances to the side, blood beginning to seep through its white fur, and lunges forward, looking to bring you down. And critically fails
my God.
on its first roll.
Amazing.
And
The frost from earlier.
yeah. So we'll do some peril. Yeah, it actually, nope, not quite. So it overextends its lunge, trying to grab you by the ankle and bring you to the ground. And then it'll be your turn.
Cool. So then it's me again?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and give myself inspiring words. Does that affect me?
It doesn't technically.
Okay. I won't do that. That would be crazy anyway. That'd be like just hype myself up.
Yeah.
I will take aim once and then I will do a normal attack.
Okay. So to plus 10.
Taste my blades.
Nice. Holy shit.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that exploded.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So then roll me 3d6.
Not even gonna have it parry.
Oh, actually, yeah. Let me have it
Yeah, you can
parry.
give it a
I
try.
did. I saved
Wolf
that.
parry.
Yeah, I saved that back, and I forgot about it already.
Wow.
Yeah. So he actually does parry, unfortunately.
Oof.
So again, sort of dancing to the side as your axes bite into the earth. This
Those are two really good
Yeah.
friggin'
this
rolls.
powerful, decisive blow, just barely missing. And it dashes forward, teeth bared,
Rar.
grabbing a hold of your leg, dealing.
No, I want to parry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You parry.
This is gonna take a while, guys. Just hang out. Where is parry at? Oh, that's on this page as well.
Yeah, defenses.
Are you kidding?
So you take 11 points of damage.
Okay.
takedown. That's not where you need to be right now.
Alright,
And you need to resist a takedown. So roll coordination.
Oh, really? I'm great at these. That's a joke. I'm not good at these.
And actually, it failed. So you don't technically.
Oh, I
need to-
don't.
yeah.
Oh, is it like a nasty trick or whatever?
Yeah. And so as it bites on your leg and you kick it off, you did take damage, right, from that?
I did take damage.
Okay, yeah. So it draws some blood from you. You're both seemingly equally matched, and it'll be your turn.
I'm not terribly good at this, but I want to try it anyway. I want to try and make a stunning blow.
Okay.
So they need to resist with toughness.
Okay. Did I roll? I did roll.
I want to spend a fortune point
Sure.
to critically succeed.
Oh yeah, it's a 69.
There's the house rule.
Yep.
I was wondering if you would.
Yeah, so it loses an AP, right? That's what stunning blow does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It starts with 1 less AP until it does a successful toughness resist. I don't know if the critical does anything special there. It usually does, but
I was
don't,
gonna say, I
need to
feel
find
like
the
it
section.
should. Let me look.
You
man.
should critical is no resist.
Oh yeah, it just can't resist.
Yeah, kind of like.
So is that
Swing
just for
it,
this
can't
turn or permanently?
I would say
I assume
for
come its term,
yeah,
they can start rolling toughness.
yeah. Okay, so you successfully stun it, and then you
Cool.
can also attack.
Yeah, I'm also gonna attack. I keep forgetting to. That's
Oh,
a
just-
hit.
yeah.
So
And so yeah, it actually doesn't have an AP left because you stunned it, so it can't parry.
okay, so that's 13 damage.
Okay, so yeah, roll me.
3d6
Yeah,
or
3d6.
less. Not bad.
Yep. So none of those will inflict an injury, unfortunately.
Shoot.
But you do give it kind of the 1-2, stun with the backside of an axe, and then bringing the other axe around to chop deeply into its ribs. As it's it's still like staring you down, snarling deeply, but very much wounded and winded. Goes for the attack. Would you like to parry?
I would like to try.
Okay.
Damn, are you kidding?
Critical failure.
I have a 71 to parry, guys, without
What
a
happens
shield.
when you crit fail a parry or a dodge?
I'm gonna make him
Just
take. Yeah, make him take peril for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you got
Um,
like an injury or something.
That would be funny.
It's like a stress, like a physical stress peril.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's physical peril,
Which is nice.
and let's
It's gonna
see.
be, no, it's not nice. It's a bad thing.
So you take 7 damage and
Actual damage, like extra damage.
9 peril.
Like
Okay, so
D&D.
7 damage does not break my threshold.
Okay.
9 peril does also not break my threshold.
Okay. So you are sort of outmatching it and outpacing it, and it'll save its 1 additional AP to parry, so it'll be your turn.
So did it make its toughness check?
Oh, I didn't roll it. Let me roll that real quick. That will make the toughness check. So it saves back the 1.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do a called shot this time,
Okay.
so they can't dodge.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try and do the two-handed axes coming in at the same angle here.
Finish
Try
it
and
off.
get it right across the neck. Ah,
You have lots of
we have a whole day's ride ahead of us, I think.
yeah, because
I want to use all of the fortunes for that.
there's 4 left. But yeah, so you will again sort of overcommit to the attack as it ducks under and dashes in for a a miss, and then it's gonna try and take you down. So roll coordination.
Doesn't it need to hit to do that or not?
This is a perilous stunt. So normally
okay.
it can do it for free if it hits, but this is gonna be.
Yeah, I'm really bad at this.
So yeah, it like shoulder checks you in the back of the knee, and you both go tumbling to the ground, sort of tussling, teeth and axes flailing, and it's your turn.
Cool. So from the ground, what's going on?
So you can still attack and stuff. You will take extra damage if you are hit while on the ground, but you can spend an AP to stand up.
Sure, I'll spend 1 AP to stand up, and then I'll spend 1 AP to do an attack.
Okay.
That hits.
And it's gonna try and parry.
Damn.
And it succeeds. And do you want to do anything else?
I'm gonna save the last one to try and parry again.
All right, so it comes back at you. Gets a crit success.
Oh, I can't parry that.
You take 10 points of damage.
Oof. Okay.
Does that put you at moderately?
Yeah, I'm moderately wounded now.
I won't change that one to a 6 just yet. And so now this will be the automatic resist the takedown.
There's no way. I'm so fucked. I just keep getting terrible rolls. Alright.
Alright, yeah, so you resist. As again, it's like trying to drag you to the ground, biting at your wrist and forearm, and it's your turn.
So I've lost like both of my bonuses, right? At moderately wounded, or no, I don't lose skill ranks when I'm injured.
Yeah, injuries don't
That's
do that.
Peril.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try and do another called shot.
Okay.
Ooh, that's really good.
That is very good. Yeah, so how do you finish it? As you guys square up, both bloodied. Wolf, you lock eyes with its golden, almost supernaturally glowing eyes. It's snarling its teeth at you. And you charge in together in a final clash.
I charge in, and I bare my throat for it, just to like bait it in. And as soon as it lunges, I bring my right hand underneath and catch it just underneath the neck. And I bring the other axe around, and I just twist and break its neck and cut its head clean off in one go.
And the wolf head spirals up into the sunset, trailing a crescent of blood into the air, and the body falls limply, the head landing a second later with a thump. And from the woods surrounding all of you, the howl raises up. The acceptance of the sacrifice and the blessing of a new member of the God King's church. And it resonates from every direction around you, and fades into the distance.
Do I understand what's happening?
You do. So you feel the same, maybe not quite to the extent that that Lillian does, but this was a test from the Winter King, and that sort of direwolf supernatural entity volunteered as a kind of sacrifice or like testament to the strength of a new follower, and the test was passed and the blessing was received.
I want to close my eyes, kind of bow my head, almost in like solidarity with what just happened.
And Lillian, automatically sort of the sacred parts of the wolf that you need.
most of it at this point.
Yeah. So the blood, the
Um,
paw, the
Yeah.
pelt, the tail, all of the.
And I shove my hand into like a puddle of just like mud and blood on the ground, and I just drag it across my face, and I howl back at the pack, at the woods, and I bow down, sort of similarly to what Hart's doing, kind of reverently to the sacrifice that was made, and then I grab its arms, I throw it over my shoulders, and I pull them tight with the one hand because I'm stronger.
Yeah.
I walk over to where the head fell, and grab that as well.
Damn it.
And then I walk onto the airship.
Fucking Celine.
Yeah, and your companions, the other sash bearers, Rosette and Kolick, all sort of watch, kind of in awe, maybe in a little bit of confusion, as you return to the airship.
Celine's just like, you got something all over your fucking face.
Yeah, I thought.
I think you need a bath.
I thought to myself, what would my very good friend Celine do? And I thought, make myself as dirty as possible.
I feel like you're mocking.
I don't know what would make you
You're
think that.
mocking me.
Why would I mock someone who I just bandaged and cared for? That would be a crazy
Man.
thing to do.
I know how our relationship works.
Go lay back down. Borwin needs someone to talk to.
Yeah.
How funny would it have been if Cody would have died in that fight?
It would have been
That would've
funny
been
as hell. Honestly, I wouldn't have even been mad.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, what a cool way to go out.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to
There goes
earn
my
it,
first
and I
fate
didn't
point.
earn it.
Yeah, so you would have the fate points, but yeah, that would have
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah, so the
So I've got some butchering to do, but after we get into the air, I'll focus on that.
the last steps for preparing the ship for airworthiness complete, and with a whine of the magical drive, the air screws activate, and you are aloft again, pushing into the air. Where's my good? This song is so funny. Into the air again.
This is Final
Um,
Fantasy airship music.
Yeah, Celine, book in hand, brain bruised from concussion, heart freshly blessed by his charge. Lillian, having received the sacrament of the Winter King. Nabeen, one gun higher in her collection of getting all of the guns. And Nesgrin, having tried out these new fighting techniques on some truly disturbing enemies at the abandoned church.
That's Mrs. Nesgrim
Sorry,
to you.
Mrs. Nesgrin. And
Show some respect.
the airship continues on its way. And so if we go back here to the maps.
Don't be still in my thunder, Nate. That's a running joke at this point.
I know.
So if we look at our map here next to this dancing banana man, we can see that you lost a little bit of progress, both during the airship fight and the landing and recovery of Celine's book. And so you are pretty much an entire day behind where you normally would be. And so this leg of the trip that you were on, I don't remember exactly how long we said it was.
You know, guys, I was thinking about taking a trip southwest, but I was thinking to myself, who shall I take with me?
A trip southwest to where?
southwest of the Supreme Biarchy.
Who shall you take with
Who
you?
shall I take?
That's pretty
Jesus.
I think we got a fair amount of problems we gotta deal with.
good. That's a Fairmont point.
Oh man.
Was Hunter, you just copied him.
I know. I thought that's what we were doing now.
I don't understand
Yeah.
what Ball of Fuss is about.
That was good. That actually took me a second.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. Egad these jokes.
Why are we?
That's
watching?
actually egg yet, so get it
Yeah,
right.
sure.
So yeah, so this leg of the trip that you sort of made without incident, I believe
How
we
do
said
start
was
the
like
airship?
7
How do we
days
start the
long.
airship, guys.
Don't
By
tell
our
me.
key.
By our
Oh my
key.
God.
I don't think it has a key.
Shh, Hunter.
That's
So I would say that from where you guys are taking off now, it's probably like 2 or 3 days of airtime to achieve Purtzwell.
I need that. Not for my
Um,
head trauma, because that's still gonna be a thing, but for my stress and my fucking wounds.
yeah, so you guys will all sort of fall back into essentially normal airship like life and duties. Borwin is tended to, Celine is tended to. Also, how hurt was Nesgrin? Were you moderately or just
No, just lightly.
okay, just lightly.
Wow.
And so everybody will fully recover your peril, and I would say that there's plenty of time for everybody to receive aided healing from Jolie and Lillian and the rest of the crew.
Oh yeah.
And so you are all refreshed with a few new experiences under your belt as you approach Purtzwell. And it's not really that much time passed for when you can actually start seeing the ocean on the horizon. And I don't know, maybe necessarily for all of you, but for some of you, this is probably the first time you've ever seen the ocean.
Definitely me.
And as you approach Purtzwell, as the days sort of roll by, it is just a seemingly endless sheet of water stretching out over the horizon as you fly north. And the land gives way to just wave after wave after wave of endless water. Which is maybe a little odd if you've never seen the ocean before, especially because you're seeing it for the first time from the air. So you have a much sort of grander approach to it. And Purtzwell comes into view pretty quickly as well. Large mercantile city, sort of the primary port that was in the past belonged to Lumerlin and had since been taken around 100 years ago by the Biarchy. Still remained a key port city for anybody who controlled it. And so here it basically sits in this little bay, and parts of it even stretch around the edges. And so it is a major metropolitan area, and under better circumstances would have been beautiful, exciting to visit, but the closer you get, the sort of more signs of distress you see. Columns of smoke. As you're flying above the countryside, you will occasionally spot like bands of orcs on the move or marching, or occasionally you even see like battles unfolding below you, either like
Magic missile.
like orcs bands fighting
Fucking
each
see
other,
'em.
or like maybe you think you spot some like darkly clad Tusk soldiers in mortal combat with some creature down below as you fly
Mortal
overhead.
Kombat!
Um,
Dun.
And so
Orcs.
the hills are alive with the sound of violence.
Oh,
violence.
now that is a song I would jam to.
The sound of violence.
And yeah, so Purtzwell itself, as you approach, parts of it are clearly been, subject to like raging fires, buildings collapsed, streets filled with abandoned carts and bodies, and it is just a scene from the apocalypse here.
Oh.
And
Which apocalypse?
The apocalypse, the one that you are living through right now.
Oh, we don't like that.
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Apocalypse
it's that
later.
apocalypse.
And
I have some presents for people. Is now a bad time?
oh no, now's a good time.
So since I've had time while we're traveling to like treat and clean and all that sort of stuff, I got a shoulder, the top of the wolf head for your shoulder heart, so you can have a pauldron that'll match your station.
Nice.
I didn't need the eyes or lower teeth, so I can give those to Celine. I make most of the rest of it into obviously my sort of
Pelt.
cloak.
Yeah.
My pelt cloak. I no longer I don't think I can wear armor. I'll have to double check that.
I think you were disallowed from wearing armor.
So if anybody wants a brigandine, they can have it. And I can use these later, but I can't right now. So I give our gun friend some the tail, like the treated tail,
Okay.
because it's very soft and pretty, and maybe
Yeah.
I don't know, you could maybe make it into like a bullet holder or
Pouch?
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Or maybe
I just like
mittens.
soft and pretty things.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't seem terribly soft and pretty, but like you are
Same.
pretty. But like
New scarf.
soft,
She's frail. She gets
soft.
cold easy.
And I don't have the know-how to do this, Nesgrin. But I thought maybe you could find an artisan that could make you some fist weapons with these. And I'll pull out the rear claws.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it could be fun.
That'd be cool.
Thank you.
Scratchy punch.
Nab just attaches the tail to her belt because she
I
doesn't
thought you
really
might
know.
want to do that.
To the belt from behind, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Darn it.
You hang on to that.
Nab.
Like one day, 20 sessions from now, I'll have the really strong spell where I burn a wolf tail, and you'll have it ready.
Yeah.
Toss me the tail. Some dramatic moment.
Right.
But I like it.
Oh, we
Oh, no.
lost.
Topher down.
We
Topher
lost
down.
Topher. Oh man, it is really freaking out.
Don't
He's
worry,
not in
I'm
hurricane
here to
area,
save
is he?
the day.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm here to save the day.
Thank
I don't know
you.
how much that'll fix it. I got people kind of fixed.
It kind of fixed it. I am now not in my DM spot, but
I mean,
Hofer did get Thanos snapped. Good point, man.
okay.
He's back.
Good. What happened?
you got snapped.
You're the only one that left. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Really?
Thanos snapped.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Is it hurricaning?
No, it was just Discord. It was like this server is down.
Oh, weird. Well, you're back now. Good job.
From outer space.
I'm apparently back.
Yeah, so if there's any other like sort of downtime things that people want to do, you have like 3 days to
I want to ask for my stupid brother.
You want to ask?
Yeah.
Who are you asking?
The crew?
Oh, if they've seen your brother?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll rumor. At
I can assist.
-10.
I'll assist.
Does he want your help?
All right, hit with that assist dice, Cody.
Oh, not quite.
No,
Nope.
not quite. So yeah, like what is there something particularly noteworthy about your brother that you're asking around about? Or is it sort of just like another dwarf? Was he like a criminal or another sash bearer?
I don't know.
You
Yep.
you just got separated and you're trying to find
Yeah,
him?
just I left before home, and then my actually parents died, so he took the family business, but he was an idiot, so he was looking for honorable, like renown
Mm-hmm.
for himself, but he was a crappy fighter, so that's why I call him an idiot, because he's an idiot, and he took the family heirloom, so I'm looking for that.
Okay.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so unfortunately no one on the crew has heard of another dwarf, pugilist, boxer, fighter.
He's bad at it.
Yeah, who's bad at it and has some very nice heirloom. Are they like cestus that you're after?
Yeah.
But yeah, so unfortunately no one is able to at this time assist you. And yeah, so then the airship approaches the fallen city of Purtzwell. And again, it is sort of a scene of turmoil as you fly over these streets. You spot sort of in fleeting glances like bands of what could be like raiders or orcs sort of moving from street to street, having clashes, fighting over like buildings to loot and resources and stuff like that. And as you fly towards the bay, you get a good look at the castle. So Purtzwell Castle, perched upon a hill overlooking the city. So it's like on this northern part of the city. I'll mark it on our map here. Sort of on this northern part of the city where that little dot is. So overlooking the bay to the east and overlooking the city to the southwest.
Dude, this is straight up some fucking Disenchanted right now. I am dead serious.
This music?
No, what you just explained, because that's basically how it is in like Disenchanted. The castle's up on like the top of the cliff, overlooking like the bay with the city down on the lower part.
Yeah, I mean that sort of makes it's like strategic
King's
sense.
Landing.
Yeah, it's like King's Landing.
Yeah, it's just I immediately thought of Disenchanted because they always pan out for that scene.
And so there's like docks sort of stretching all along the bay here. And so the castle has like a commanding view of the water as well as the city, sort of in the case of sort of combat or invading forces coming in on the docks, the castle can provide cannon fire. And you notice that sort of jutting from one of the center spires at the castle is a seemingly out of place giant metallic spike, sort of piercing into the air, way taller than the surrounding walls.
It's alive.
And it glints in the sunlight, shining and sort of piercing high into the sky. And you know from the information that Agent Bruce provided you that Purtzwell Castle was kind of the headquarters, the operating grounds of Dr. Yinzo Shichiba, where he conducted his orcs research and various other things in the name of the Biarchy of Oshik Tadberg. And so Rosette will kind of put you guys in a like curving pattern coming out over the water here, over the docks, where some of the boats are sunk in the harbor, others have been clearly burned to a husk. And she will approach you guys and the other sash bearers and say, well, it looks like we can land right at the castle. They have what appears to be a vacant airship space with a tie down and everything that obviously would have been used to bring airships to the castle. Or we can, if there's some other idea that you guys want, we can do that as well, or else.
I don't think we want to go to the castle. The doctor isn't there.
Yeah, that seems like
We
a
are like
plan.
advertising ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Unless he's taking it over.
I don't think we will be able to approach with it.
But we just don't want to approach with the airship, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. That's smart.
Yeah.
So.
Is there anywhere that's like safe to land?
There are like on the outskirts of the city places that look like, that you don't actively see people or individuals like doing things bad.
But if they see us come down, then like...
Yeah, so you kind of get the impression that this is like a pretty active territory where, like survivors and people who lived in the city before the star fell and orcs and any number of other, competing factions are all kind of vying for maybe not control, but like survival in Purtzwell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And actually, here I can bring us over here and we can get a rough map. So let's do this. So if like this is kind of like the bay, the castle and its grounds would be like that circle. And you'd have like a bunch of docks. And again, this isn't going to be to scale or anything like that.
We could pass through castle and then continue north. Then we could descend a little farther.
Yeah, so the city kind of
go back.
does this sort of thing. And this is very, very roughly, that wiggly line would be the Purtzwell proper, and then there's like maybe a little province to the north here. And yeah, so like what Nacho was saying, if you guys wanted to like fly to the north of the city and like come down towards the castle, or land somewhere on the outskirts of the city, or land somewhere in the city, or at the castle, on a dock, whatever you guys, however you want to approach it is perfectly acceptable.
What do you think we will have to get to the doctor? Do you think we will have to get in the castle in a stealth, or?
I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot of room for stealth with our group. I don't know. We may get to the castle and find out that we can't get in. But we can't really land. We couldn't try and land the airship there even if we wanted to, really. I don't think.
So Rosette
probably not.
Rosette did
What?
As you're circling and looking, she spotted, they have a, an airship field with a specific tie down and everything, which would have been used to ferry airships to and from the castle. So it has the necessary, accommodations as to if you want to, take advantage of that. That's kind of up to you guys.
Is it night or it's day or night?
I would say it's afternoon. This is This is after lunchtime on the third day of your travel from retrieving the book. And
It's how's the moon?
How's the moon?
Yeah.
Well, it's still daytime, so you can't really see the moon.
No, but I know how it was yesterday.
Oh, are you meaning was it a full
The
moon
phase.
recently?
Yeah.
Oh God. It was like a crescent. It wasn't close to full. So if you waited till night, it would be sufficiently dark if you wanted to be stealthy.
Yeah, maybe try and land in that airfield after dark.
Yeah.
To maybe attract less direct attention. That seems like a pretty good plan.
Agreed.
Or a really bad one. What? Really bad one. But yeah.
Hey man, I think it sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, if we are not going to do stealthy way,
Mm-hmm.
just land
I
there
mean,
at night and then see what happens.
Do we have anyone that has any actual points in stealth?
I don't think I do.
Yeah.
Some of the other Sash bearers do, but
Yeah, who's not here?
no,
That
the other
Oh.
group, not
Okay.
not
I
her.
have
She's
guile, but not stealth.
she's still in the
She's
barrel.
Still in a barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we need her. Like when we run out of food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you-
I like that plan.
Me
Or do you
too.
think we should go to the city for a couple of days to see if we could gather intel about the castle? How is layout, and then
It would definitely be any trip that we try to make into the town is going to be basically a combat mission. So unless we have somewhere specifically that that we think we know where we could find info on the castle, it's probably not worth the effort.
is there anyone in the crew or from here from Purtz?
No. As far as I know, none
Dear God.
of you. What's up?
Oh. Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I
Startled.
was saying oh no, you were as far as I know, and I'm like, wait, you're God.
Oh, your God is what you said. Yeah. So, you guys, none of you mentioned it specifically as a hometown, and then none of the, Rosette and the other four, and Colic, none of them are from Purtzwell because they're all from Lumerlin and less than 100 years old, and so they wouldn't have been born here.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, if you guys wanted to like, ooh, gotta sneeze.
Oh, I don't need to do that.
Let her rip.
If you guys wanted to put the airship down somewhere and wait for night, and then approach the castle sort of clandestinely, that's a plan. That sounds like a plan to me.
I think that's probably our best bet.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too.
All right. And so Rosette and Colic will agree, and she will take you guys to the north of Purtzwell here, and actually we'll roll back to this map, and you guys will want to be looking at over here on like the big topographical map. So as you go further like northwest of Purtzwell, you approach the swampy northern shore of Boshake Tadberg. So she flies you guys to the north and puts the ship down, and the landscape here has transitioned a little bit away from that kind of rolling grassland hills to that like a mixture of that and almost like swampy kind of tropical is not the right word, but however you would describe like Louisiana or the Gulf Coast.
Bayou.
Yeah, like bayou kind of river meets ocean, lots of
Delta.
like deltas and oop, I almost spilled my water. Deltas,
Atolls.
and atolls, and just like hundreds of
Totally
scattered
said
islands.
Tadpoles. I was
Yeah,
like,
you know,
Tadpoles.
We all got them.
so many tadpoles.
So Benny.
All tadpoles.
And so for the second time in less than a week, the airship touches down on some squishy, sort of sodden grassland in a clearing, surrounded by different types of trees than before, in what is less than a forest and more of like a bayou. And the group waits for nightfall.
The group waits for no one.
And
true, yeah.
let's see. You all sort of take up post on watch and that sort of thing. It's definitely uneasy that what you saw from the air was chaos. It was just the city that has fallen into peril, into sort of lawlessness. And so here to the north, obviously you're not directly in it, but it's right there and you're going into it soon. Everybody give me awareness -10.
Oh, baby. Let's go. Think I'll get this one?
Do you have like a
Think
20?
I'll get this one, guys?
Ooh, now I've got
Don't worry, I failed.
Oh, nice 15.
Nice.
That's me.
At least somebody could make their
Yeah,
awareness.
now I've got a crit success. Oh, that's a crit fail.
Wait, that's a crit fail.
Oh,
Yeah.
Damn.
Would have been.
So we'll use Nabeen's roll. Nabeen and Ignacio and Nesgrin and Hart and Nabeen.
Mrs. Nesgrin.
You are all sort of patrolling the edges, maybe looking out into the swampy. Whoa, are you coloring the ocean in?
yeah.
It looks like a
yeah, it's not working out very well.
That's a
is-
company logo.
No, what is that?
Wait, no, that's
right.
that's a PlayStation.
It does look like a
Yeah, I
PS5.
can see that.
Jesus.
But what is that called in video games when a memory leak when like
yeah.
when it like fractals out.
Stretches,
Yep.
yeah.
Anyway, so you're all like looking out into this new unfamiliar habitat, and Nabeen, you are the first to see that things have come
Water is
out of
wet.
the swamp to watch you, to like appraise the whatever this is that has landed here.
What sort of things?
And you realize that you're like squinting your eyes and sort of peering into the shadows of these trees. You see, sort of to your surprise and horror, a man that appears to be kind of man-like on his
As
upper
most
half,
Man.
but has furry goat legs
Oh, red.
and some
Nice.
little curled horns, and he's peeking out from through the branches of the trees, not quite hidden like he thinks he is. And you are noticing that there are more like him, sort of darting from tree to tree, kind of looking from through the ferns at the airship. And that's also what Hart and Nesgrin, you all see that. But Nabeen is the one who is stressed out and takes 14 peril from the critical failure as you recognize a seemingly unfamiliar form, something that you've heard about but never seen before, a beast man, and
That's where we
seemingly
can take a break.
mini beastmen. And this
Remind
would
me how
be
to do the peril track for.
say that again.
Remind me how to record the peril that I take. It's
Um,
so mine is 7. So basically, I'm incapacitated at this point.
um,
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
Okay.
let's see, Nabeen. So on the peril track here on, so you've got 7 and 13 are your 2 first peril thresholds. So 14 exceeds both of those. And so you start at unhindered, you will fill in the imperiled bubble, and you also fill in the ignore 1 skill rank bubble to represent the 2 steps down. And so you see this sort of off in the distance, and you can tell that they're kind of scoping you guys out, and it freaks you out because you're like, oh shit, that's a goat person. These are beastmen in the swamp.
That's sadorific.
And with that, we will take a small break. It's been an hour and a half, and we've got an hour and a half to go. And we will return in about 5 to 10 minutes ish, and we will pick up from there. So I haven't quite fixed our be right back screen, which is the one that actually like killed my OBS last time I tried to use it. But I will write it here on be right back. All right, everybody, bio break, get a drink. Hopefully Nate's getting some caffeine.
Yeah.
And we will see you in a little bit. Let's change our music real quick.
Okay.
is it? I
Or is
don't see-
what?
Matt said, "Can someone approve that for me, please? I don't have admin privileges still."
Approve what?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't see anything other than
Discord
say that.
post where?
Yeah.
In FNF?
Man, that Fiends logo that you made with the alien egg, super cool.
Thanks.
Jesus, was I like the only one who went anywhere besides Hunter?
Yeah.
Wow.
What channel did you try to post it in, Matt? I don't even see like an audit log entry for it.
Yeah, me neither, which is weird.
I think it's Discord itself.
I'm looking in Discord.
it's
I don't
okay.
see anything in the audit log or anything.
Oh, audit log, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing in links and memes for us, man, my dude.
Yeah. It must
can
just
we,
be
like-
straight up blocked by Discord itself.
Is there a way? There's got to be a way we can set it to, like, not safe for work.
There's an explicit media content filter. Oh, it's because we have our FNF server set as a community server. So we get all the extra like membership stuff, we get, the public listing stuff, and they automatically scan all media content when you're in that community status.
Uh-oh. But it not making it like a not safe for work channel work?
I don't think so.
If it's community, you probably can't.
It just
Yeah.
says it scans all media content posted.
Okay. So they made it not safe for work, but
Ooh.
the Mantar.
Oh, jeez.
The
That's,
Mandotar.
That is disturbing, Matt.
I like it.
He's
I
half
like
man from the waist up and half man from the waist down.
You're right.
That's nuts.
That's a big yikes. He look like a man.
Oh, Miss Swan. Oh, you know say sing before.
Nate,
What?
I get to start channeling and doing magic now.
Could have before, but
Well, and like I don't get the normal chaos manifestations. I get divine punishments now.
Ooh.
They're actually not as bad as the things that I saw you could get. At least normally. My minor one is almost cool.
I don't have to spend points on reloading anymore. That makes me happy.
Wait. You don't have to spend anything on reloading? You could just do that now?
As long
Cody.
as it's gunpowder.
Cody, are you saying
Oh,
miners are cool?
Yeah, miners are red.
They dig
You got
around in
those
the
cool
dirt.
pitchforks.
Oh,
With
you mean
those
people that do
pickaxes?
mining.
They got hats with lights on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's not to love about hats with lights on them? Right?
Correct.
I agree.
I like to think that I'm always correct.
Dang it.
Yeah, but and it would be real cool if Roll20 would add like a filler tool.
Yeah. Honestly, when it comes to stuff like that, they don't really want you to use that.
I know.
It's kind of odd.
You okay over there, Mrs. Nesgrit? Nesgrin? It's late for you.
I'm good.
You're
Yeah,
in
I'm
the dark.
safe. I am.
Dark, spooky.
They're
Ooh.
coming for you.
I understand how you feel, though. 1 minute you're defending the whole galaxy, and then you suddenly find yourself sucking down Darjeeling with Mary and Antoinette and her little sister.
What did you just call me?
Darjeeling?
How did you know that was my name?
We know all.
Who is we?
Did Hunter change
Can't
shirts?
tell you.
I put a hoodie, or I put my sweatshirt on.
Okay, that's right, because it's like a long sleeve or sweatshirt or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
the
cold.
Cody. It's the organization of understanding and information. We.
Mmm.
I forgot my
We
water.
saw.
1 second.
We
He's gonna
saw.
go change his shirt again because, you know, that's the shirt that I always draw when I have to draw a hunter.
You guys like how I
It's
can
like
make
I
jokes in
knew it.
other languages? It's pretty good, right?
Yeah,
That
it's
was a
great.
French joke.
Croissant.
You can't make French jokes. Only we can.
Ah.
No.
The only thing I
Alright.
know in French is, will you sleep with me?
Whoa. And how do you say that?
I think it's just voulez-vous coucher avec moi.
Ce soir?
Yeah, that's the song.
And so we return. Our sash bearers in their airship, looking out as the sun sets, seeing unfamiliar creatures watching them.
Unfamiliar to you, maybe.
Yeah.
I am unfazed and unimpressed.
Yeah, and so the other sash bearers will sort of look out as well. And Borwin, who's sort of beginning to recover from his wounds, leaning against the railings, like, I've heard about those before. Ouch.
Listen, man. Hart has seen some shit, okay?
All right.
Beastmen of unusual size.
Yeah.
And I believe in it.
Riddled his wiener with beast
35 plus years as a sellsword. I've seen some shit, okay?
Have you?
Most people don't live that long. So it's very impressive.
And yeah, so they don't approach, but they do, you know, every so often you'll catch one of them watching from the trees or, you know, darting away back deeper into the swampland. And night will fall. And
Why? It can't stand up anymore?
yeah, drank too much.
This is the bad pun episode. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
The music was a little loud. And as darkness, the sun sets, and it becomes a late evening, the sash bearers give the go-ahead, and the airship rises into the air to approach the castle. And again, you're not far from the city, and so it's a pretty short flight. Almost takes more time just to get into the air than it does to get there. And Rosette will advise that everybody should be prepared for, you know, the worst. Should they come under cannon fire or something like that as they're approaching, they'll need to make a quick escape. And everybody should be loaded for bear should a party approach to, you know, take the airship or whatever.
I'm ready.
I
I've
love a
already
party.
pre-rolled for initiative.
You're just storing an initiative roll. Yeah, so you approach the castle, and the city from above at night is almost like more of a picture of disruption than before, because you can see where the fires are burning, and you can see the puff of like a gunshot somewhere in the city as a rifle goes off, and torches being carried and that sort of thing. And you do notice a sort of, in the darkness, it's more apparent that there is a sort of a lack of activity kind of in a perimeter around the castle, where, you know, you see people like crisscrossing and going about doing things in the city, but there seems to be a pretty purposeful avoidance of getting near the castle. And you do see in the castle there is some kind of light source in some of the windows, so it appears to be in some way occupied. And so the airship swoops in, Rosette, basically making for a quick and safe but decisive landing here on this field designed for accommodating airships. And she comes swooping in a big arc, and you come flying down towards the ground, throwing the air screws into reverse as you don't screech to a halt, obviously, because you're in the air.
Air can screech.
Well, yeah.
It's just very scary when it does.
the hull of the airship bounces against the earth of this field, and she brings it up right against this pole designed for tying down the envelope and everything. And the gangplank goes down, and you are all sort of on the grounds of Purtzwell Castle now, outside the wall. And there's like a little outbuilding here next to you guys, and I'll just I don't know, we'll just draw a little thing for it. That was clearly designed to be like the airship receiving, office or whatever, where things would be offloaded. And in the darkness, you don't really hear anything.
Attack the darkness.
I magic missile the darkness. So the gangplank is lowered. You are kind of on this eastern side of the castle, outside the walls. But you can see in the distance, in the very dim light, that there is like a gate that you can approach and that sort of thing.
And the gate's down?
The gate is down.
Shoot, anyone know how to lift a gate? Leverage.
I mean, is there a lever to do so?
You can't see it from here, but
Yeah.
you would probably assume so.
All right, let's make a cautious approach.
So as you guys are going down the gangplank, or so lining up to approach the gangplank,
Doing hand sign.
you will hear, sort of from the other side of the building, voices, and one of them's like, "See, I told you I heard an airship come down. Look, there it is. They just put down the plank. What? Yeah, they're coming."
I charge.
I charge.
You charge down the gangplank.
Go punch him.
So as you come running down the gangplank, you will hear the sort of clatter of what sounds like people also kind of loaded with weapons or something, and one of them shouts, "Halt! Who's landed an airship at our castle?"
Can we bring supplies for the doctor?
And one of them's like, "What did they say?" And the one who spoke first, like, "They said they brought supplies for the doctor." And they're like, "How do you know about the doctor?"
How do you know about the doctor?
"How do I know about the doctor?"
Yeah, you don't know the doctor lives here?
Yeah,
Who are you?
Yeah, the
What are
doctor
you
lives
doing
here. And the other one will be like, "Don't tell them that the doctor lives here."
I know the doctor lives here. Do you know that the doctor lives here?
Yeah, do you know the Muffin Man?
You should be
The Muffin
here.
Man!
Should you be here?
Yes, the doctor lives here.
I know the doctor lives here. That's why I bring him the stuff he asked for us for it.
What?
You dumb?
What
You want me
did
to go wake
he?
him up and tell him that you didn't know that he was, his arrived day, he specifically told us that he was extremely urgent and he needed this ASAP. So why are you delaying us? I keep getting closer.
Yeah. And
Closer.
he'll
I really feel
I'll come
alone
with you.
in this moment.
Oh god.
and you hear more voices conversing, and it's clear that they're kind of like posted up like on the other side of this building. He'll call out and say, wait, you'll have to wait just a little bit longer. And he's like, yeah, go run, go ask them. And you see someone kind of just detach from the back of the building and run towards the gate, seemingly on a runner mission to gather some information.
Okay, start unloading the crates. Come on, let's go. We have a job to do.
And I'll grab Celine and I'll put you in a crate.
Yeah, and I'll just grab a crate at random and start walking down the gangplank.
I've got the Celine crate.
Yeah, so
near
you
guy
guys
or not?
start unloading random crates from down the gangplank.
One of them is just full of gunpowder.
Yeah, and the other one is gnome.
Yeah, if one is
Full
full.
of gunpowder.
They're equally explosive. These two
Yeah.
crates.
You right.
In my drunken or my dunderheaded, I should say, way that Hart is, I grab a crate that's obviously full of something that's rotting or some sort of trash, and it smells terrible.
Oh, like the refuse crate.
And I start carrying that down the gangplank.
And so the
I mean, honestly, that doesn't seem like something the doctor wouldn't want. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen what he's made.
Right.
the gate will reopen, and a group of people will sort of come out from the gate to meet you guys. And you see they're carrying torches, and they join the group kind of that were standing behind the outbuilding, and you are met by sort of an interesting motley crew here. There is
orcs and beastmen.
there is
bears.
there's an
We're
We're
orc.
talking like we're not a motley crew.
Well,
Come
yeah,
on.
it's sort of like similar to you guys. So there's you 9 sash bearers plus Rosette and Colic. And the group that meets you consists of there's an older man sort of dressed in very fine like leather overcoat and pants. He's got a what's it called? A plague doctor mask sort of hanging.
Cool.
It's not on his face, but it's like taken down and sort of hanging on his front. Gray hair, clean shaven, strongly wrinkled face. At his side is an orcs, a tall, burly, swine-like orcs. And sort of the very interesting thing that catches your attention about this orcs in the torchlight, in his forehead, there's this kind of weird, it's like an oval, and it's got it's hollow in the middle, and it's got like a little point coming up in the center. Seems to be like embossed or like implanted in his forehead. And he holds himself like you would expect any like 6-foot tall, 6-inch man. Wood, looks not sort of dissimilar from the other orcs that you have accompanied, just in terms of posture and stature. And then with these two sort of noteworthy people are just a bunch of like what appear to be either common folk or soldiers, or any walk of life, seem to be kind of scattered amongst this group that meets you. And so this is Dr. Yinzo Sachiba, the man with the mask down, sort of strapped to his front. And he will look at the group of you and say, well, I certainly didn't order any supplies, but
What do you mean?
seeing as how we could use all the help we can get here, and it appears that you are civilized to some extent, and he kind of looks over at the airship where Rosette and Colic are clutching rifles. He's like, I would love to extend an invitation to Purtzwell Castle to you, and perhaps we can get to know each other a little bit and figure out exactly what's going on here.
Hart stumbles a little bit, and the refuse or whatever is in his crate kind of sloshes out a little bit, and it smells terrible.
And
what are you, Hart? Why did you just put that down?
and some of the people kind of like visibly like cover their nose or whatever. And Dr. Yinzo will sort of gesture to his companion. He's like, I don't know, how familiar you are with orcs, but this is my friend Zugan. If you've met with some of the orcs in the countryside or had a run-in, I can assure you that Zugan here is not like that. He's very much a cooperative member of the castle here, a true friend and a companion. And you see that Zugan is just like arms crossed, very serious, kind of stoic expression. He's wearing armor. He's got a sword. And
Nam's gonna mirror his posture and do the same.
Yeah, Hart's gonna do the same thing.
I do not do the same thing.
And
But Hart does it in a way that he thinks is subtle, and it's not.
yeah, just like the almost mocking. And the doctor will sort of gesture, and he's like, so who are you, and what brings you here in the middle of the night?
We're not entirely sure on that. You see, we got our orders. The accent changed again, I know. We got our orders. We were told to come here and deliver these supplies, that it was an emergency. And that's all we really know.
Orders from who?
Like I said, not really sure.
This is the boldest lie I have ever heard from anyone in D&D ever, or any RPG.
And
They don't pay us for ask questions. They pay us for deliveries. So we don't ask.
Yeah, there you go.
and
Point at Mrs. Nesbitt and nod.
And he kind of like
First rule is don't ask the client his name, her name, and look at the packages.
Sounds
and
like we're
ask
dropping
who's
a bomb.
delivery. So no,
and he's nodding.
that's like that movie, the one with the guy that drives.
Oh yeah, driver.
Or transport.
Transporter.
Transporter.
Yeah. Pull that
and
knife from the transporter.
yeah. He kind of like nods his head. And he's like, okay, well, where did you fly in from?
It's like a geography. So
Yeah.
Hart tries to offer help and goes, "From the middle of Voshek Tadberg."
You came from, like, certainly not Big Sar.
No, just south of the Azure Woods.
South of the Azure Woods. Oh, I mean, okay. We, obviously you've seen the city and the state it's in. We can use all the supplies we can get. All right, yeah, here we can lend a hand, and you can see that behind you, Rosette and Colic and the other four kind of like,
Baffled.
okay, as people from the castle sort of line up to accept crates of stuff from the hold of the airship. And I guess unless any of you stop it, this is kind of like you unload the airship and follow.
What exactly are we giving them?
Whatever we give them, I guess.
Yeah, try and grab the most like useless to us crates.
Yeah.
and-
So we'll give them our friend in the barrel. We'll
Yeah.
Gunpowder.
not all of the gun. Well, some of the gunpowder. Obviously, some of the water would probably be fine. All this fresh wolf meat.
Oh yeah, from the dire wolf.
I mean, how much meat is in a 5-foot wolf?
A good amount. He
It's
was
pretty gamey,
he was
I
a
think.
beefy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they will, help you guys offload your supplies and invite you through the gate into the castle to, place things in their storage and sort of join them. And you enter the walls of Purtzwell Castle, and it's seems to be fairly well kept given the situation. And you kind of get the impression that this is being used as like a kind of survivor's stronghold, where there's people sort of about doing night tasks. There obviously a lot of people are awakened by the commotion of the airship and you guys coming in with supplies and everything. And yeah, it's seems to be just kind of like a holdout. You kind of make small talk with some of the people. They thank you for bringing much needed supplies to the castle for the survivors and everything. Yeah, and as you're kind of walking the grounds, you can look up, and even in the darkness, you can see that spire of metal pointing up into the sky from the tallest tower of the castle.
Are the survivors humans?
Yeah, so the
Orcs
vast
and-
majority are humans. It's humans and dwarves and some of the other meta-human races, but it's mostly humans. And the only orc seems to be Zugon. At least the only orc that you see kind of actively about. And as you watch him, he, as Dr. Sachiba said, appears to be an active, sort of helpful, very engaged member of this weird little community as he offloads crates and interacts with people that he walks past, and they all kind of seem to treat him, if not normally, at least respectfully, as you guys kind of mill about here in the
And as I'm walking by, I'll talk to my box, and I'm like, "This shit is crazy, right? Right? This is crazy."
That's bullshit. I wish I could see.
All right. Don't worry. I'll drop you off as soon as I get into the castle, and you can go explore.
Hell yes.
Yeah, so you will be directed to a storeroom where you can, they ask you what it is in the box, and they'll lead you to a designated, if it's flour or whatever. There's various storerooms kind of sequestered throughout the walls where you can see that they did have some supplies, but they were dwindling, and so this idea of, oh, we brought supplies, they're fairly willing to accept that for now.
Supplies.
Wait, what?
Alchemy supplies.
Wait,
I
you're
mean-
trying to find that?
I'll tell
I'm
you
saying that's what I am.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is alchemy supplies.
Or nearly.
And he kind of like squints at it, and he's like, we'll have to ask the doctor about that one. I don't know where he wants that. And
Void salts and all sorts of stuff.
yeah, so you'll be pointed to the doctor, and so what do you tell him it is?
Yeah, this is like void salts and some like shielded witchstone.
And he's like, interesting. Well, let me take a look real quick to make sure I where I want to put it.
Oh, you'll need to actually get a crowbar for this. It's fully nailed on.
And he's like, okay, we need to check this because I don't want to. You know how these things can be. If I put it in the wrong place, we could have a reaction or something like that. And he'll call over to someone like, here, bring that pry bar over here real quick.
And I'm gonna shout from because I'm kind of assuming and picturing that we're in a line, kind of like a working
in like
party,
a
and I'm like,
a courtyard.
come
or
on,
whatever.
you're holding up the line. My arms aren't getting any.
Oh no, like you are fully able to move freely. They're not like preventing you from moving or anything. They're kind of like off against a wall, sort of where the keep and the towers are, everything, because they were gonna go into the castle proper. Whereas most of the supplies are being distributed among the walls, where there's like little storerooms and everything.
Now you've done it.
So you guys are like
It was a great
in
idea.
a courtyard. So do you say anything, Lillian?
I'm thinking, I would say to him, I mean, before you would even want to try and open something like this, the jostling of moving it is already a little bit, but like actually taking the full crowbar to it out here in the open is probably a bit of a questionable decision, don't you think?
All right, so hit me with
I can make a check.
Yeah, like a charm or a deceit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'll make a
This
charm
is
check.
fucking nutty.
Is there any modifier to this?
It's flat. And I think you have 4
let me see
tokens, and I have
if I have any
2.
anything that would help.
Don't be afraid to use a token.
Would you say that I am persuading someone of a different social class than my own?
What is your social class?
It depends on how you want to look at it. Historically, it's like highborn. Currently, it's slave soldier.
Sure. We'll go with that.
It's like one of those things that's kind of hard to gauge effectively.
Yeah.
Right? Here.
And so he's like, oh, I mean, I suppose you're right. If it is something pretty volatile, here, come with me and we'll find somewhere for it temporarily.
Cool. I'll go with him.
Yeah, and he'll lead you into the castle, and you, again, this is kind of a change from Fort Purtzwell, because this is a fairly modern and seemingly in long use structure. Things are well kept. They look like they've been well kept for the past few years. It's not crowded, but as you move through some of the rooms and stuff, there are individuals having made like makeshift bedrooms and stuff like that. And Dr. Sachiva will take you deeper through a set of different doors and stuff until you pass into what is clearly becoming like the laboratory part of it, which is
yes.
sort of that transition from, you see people milling about and making like living quarters to a more, much more, there's like nobody in here, and it's very organized and, specifically designated rooms with like label signs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll stop you in what's like looks like how do I describe it? Kind of like a common area where there's like a bunch of like long tables and crates and papers and parchments and stuff, and a few doors that go off into different directions. And you say, okay, yeah, leave this here and I'll get to it at some point. We've got a lot of things to do.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. And I'll set it down and I will leave.
Yeah, and he'll walk with you, and he's like, so what is your name?
Oh, I'm Lillian.
And so you flew from just south of Big Sur?
So it would be north of Big Czar, south of the Azure Woods, correct?
No, actually, here, let's look. We'll go back to the map real quick.
I'm trying to remember the geography from my skull.
Yeah. So if we looked, it would be north of the Azure Woods, south of Big Sur.
Oh, but wait.
Wait,
because he said that we came from Voshik Taberg and not. For some reason, my brain thought that he said Lumerland, but that's.
Oh yeah. He said we came from the center of Lumerland.
Yeah.
Or sorry, from the center of Voshik Taberg. Yeah. So then.
Yeah. So we just north of the Azure Woods.
Oh, so far south. Well, how are things there? Yeah, everything is just mad.
Yeah, the sky shattering has perhaps more than anything sent the world into a bit of political turmoil.
He's like, interesting. Well,
all the refugees and people trying to take advantage, and heard about land grab movements and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, up here in Purtzwell, we've hardly heard anything from the outside world. The city fell seemingly overnight after the star fell, and the winds of magic were just inflamed, and now we've got beastmen coming from the swamps, and of course the orcs.
We saw those.
The orcs having escaped. It's not what I pictured, but I suppose we're taking it day by day.
Yeah, and what was it that you mentioned when we first landed about other orcs in the countryside or something?
Well, I don't know, what. We should have a talk here in a little bit. I think your crew and myself and some of the people here, we can trade information and figure out exactly where to go from here.
Oh yeah, well our crew is very capable, so if our mission was sent to be here. Like I said, we didn't ask any questions. If you've got something that you would like to send us on next, we're happy to listen if you've got any coin.
I don't know about coin, but maybe we can figure something out. Yeah, and so the Sash bears will distribute their crates, and Celine, you are sitting alone in the silence. You can sort of hear far in the distance through the stone.
Is anyone else wondering what the fuck is happening right now with this?
Jesus Christ. What was our mission? Are we supposed to kill the doctor, or just investigate all this?
You figure out if kill him if we need to, but figure out what's going on with all the orcs.
Okay.
Not so much what about the orcs, but what is really weird for me is like it's a refugee camp with humans and other demi-humans, and they're all in with this. Do they look like enslaved or prisoners or something like
No,
that, or
they look
they look
hard
on
for
their free
wear.
will?
Maybe a little hungry, not super well taken care of, but they're all seemingly here under their own will and sort
The
of
doctor's protection.
yeah, participating in this like ad hoc community here in Purtzwell Castle.
The doctor was the one who allegedly was doing the conversion of the orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Almost for certain, because the orcs
Yeah.
volunteered that information.
Yeah, but then when the orcs were like got escaped or whatever and went out into the countryside, a lot of them encountered the shadows and started getting to
Yeah, maybe we can drop that.
the frickin' witch stone and their abilities. So
But maybe he was doing that before the star fell and they
Oh,
escaped.
yeah, he definitely was.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
information that you were given by the woodsman agent Bruce, is that in Purtzwell there had for a long time, even before the star fell, been this guy, Dr. Yinzo Tsuchiba, who had been sort of renowned, or at least known to the woodsman, that they were doing research on orcs. So Dr. Tsuchiba was seemingly like an orcs expert, or, you know, figuring out ways to fight them or make them into soldiers for Voshik Tadberg, or, you know, any number of rumors abounded about what exactly he was doing here in his lab in Purtzwell.
Why we were supposed to kill him? Because he was releasing the orcs, or
You were not explicitly told to kill him. Agent Bruce sort of posited that if you came up here and, you know, found him or found his lab, you could figure out what was going on and maybe like a solution to the whole problem.
Yeah, figure out what's going on with the orcs, what's going on with the shadows.
Yeah.
Some kind of like get some information and maybe figure out how to stop it all.
Yeah.
And we're currently on the information gathering. We'll save the threat of decapitation for maybe the last option.
okay.
We'll probably want to try and bring this guy back if we can. I feel like that's brownie points.
After the Capitan, we could decapitate him and bring him back.
no,
Well, I mean, I was thinking, you know, bring him back and then decapitate him there.
Yeah, later.
if we need to.
I think Bruce
might
would be
want
very
to,
happy
so-
with an orcs expert.
I was gonna say, yeah, they might want him for his knowledge and try and make their own orc soldiers.
Yeah, so they, you know, the activity kind of dies down a little bit. And Dr. Yinzo will find one of you and sort of invite the group, you know, the airship crew, to join him in like a little meeting to talk about, you know, why you're here and future things and what exactly is going on. And so he will meet you in like a little study in the like central keep of the castle. Nicely furnished, you know, warm fireplace going, lit with torches. Kind of like a little library where there's like leather-bound tomes in the wall and stuff, and plenty of chairs around a circle for definitely you five and whoever you kind of wanted to bring with you.
I think we should bring everyone except Rosie, the co-pilot, and the guy with the gun.
Okay, so leave those three.
Yeah, I think everyone else can come.
Okay, so then you four, because obviously Celine is not there, and plus the 3 other Sash bearers.
Yeah. And our other secret Sash bearer is somewhere probably in the kitchen.
Yeah, the other barreled up.
And if we forget, I'm saying right now, she stays.
Yeah, pickled Trish in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Well, she'll last a lot longer that way.
Yeah. And so he will sit down, and his orc companion joins you. And then there's like 2 other seemingly kind of authority figures. A man and a woman dressed basically as commoners, your regular clothing, will join you in this conference.
Oh, speaking of dress, really fast, I can actually wear armor. I don't know. I think we're maybe pulling in something from another game where you couldn't wear armor, but yeah, I'll keep my brigandine.
Yeah.
I don't get any extra armor from the skin.
From the pelt. Okay. Yeah, and so he'll sit down with you, and he kind of folds his hands in front of him, and he's like, well, thank you again for this strange delivery. What do I call you? Are you like the Red Cloths or something?
Oh, that's a good name. The Red Cloths. I like
Yeah, you can call us that, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and he kind of like looks a little weirdly at that.
We haven't decided on a formal name yet.
Interesting. So
we're just sort of hands for hire, and we take on jobs and deliver when we need to.
And just happen to like the color red, I guess.
It's a good color.
Excuse me, this is Scarlet.
Oh, Scarlet.
Yeah, maybe we should use that in the name. That's a good idea.
And he's like, okay, well, so you took this job from some mysterious benefactor, and they paid you up front and said, fly this to Purtzwell and deliver it to the castle?
Bruce is a female, right?
Yes. Her first name is not Bruce. It is Farlaria.
Hart, in his, dunderheaded way, is going to say, yeah, I don't know who she was. Some girl named Bruce.
Interesting.
Yeah. Said, take these packages, head up north, stay in the airship, don't touch down, avoid the shadows? Not quite sure what that meant.
Avoid the shadows.
I don't want to judge his reaction to that.
Make me a scrutinize, and I don't want to imply that he's outright lying, but maybe you're trying to gauge his reaction, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm not great at it, but
Yeah.
I'm giving it a shot. No way.
Assist?
Yeah, he got a 2, so I mean, he doesn't, like, greatly react to that, but you say that, and he's like, yeah, okay, and then he, like, seems to kind of, like, think of something in passing, and then continues with the conversation, where it's like, oh, he, like, recognized it in a, sort of in a weird or unexpected way, then came back to you.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine things in the rest of the country are much better than they are here. Obviously we had the added detraction of my research sort of going haywire when the star fell, but I suppose everyone in Big Sar is dead or mutated or something. And so flying.
Maybe that pirate got a hold of them.
Bat pirate. And
oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he
pretty
and
crazy.
that sort of like surprises him. He's like, so a pirate that was a bat?
More
Yeah.
like an orcs that was a bat that was a pirate.
Yeah, it was yeah, that pretty much actually, that hits the nail on the head actually pretty well.
And he's like, and he kind of sits back. He's like, interesting. And he turns to his orc companion. He's like, does that fit with anything that we've heard from anyone else? And the orc kind of thinks, and he speaks with like a deep, gravelly voice. He's like, I do believe that we had heard stories of one of the winged orcs. Could be similar to what they're talking about. And so he turns back to you and he's like, yeah, well, I apologize if you had the unfortunate circumstance to come across an orc's bat or, a pirate, like you said. As I mentioned before, my work here was specialized and particularly sensitive, and so when the star fell, perhaps the specimens that I was keeping here, orcs, most of them escaped.
Oh, was it?
Was it too many? How many were?
Yeah, more than 100, I would say.
Lillian will because she literally it is like a immediate response that she cannot withdraw. Just like.
You're
And
saying you kept more than 100 orcs captive?
well, effectively. So my work here
Whole war.
as a signified mage of the former biarchy of Voshik Tadberg. My responsibility here at Purtzwell Castle was the study of the orcs as a species and the related disease that can affect humans. Voshik Tadberg had a burgeoning supernatural illness research sort of organization. We had a castle studying lycanthropy and me studying the orcs and their relation to other metahumans. We had quite a few specimens here in various stages of change, and when the star fell, orcs being creatures sort of the winds of magic, usually things maybe spiraled out of control, so to speak, and we lost all of them effectively.
Was it a physical escape, like an earthquake, or
I mean,
magical escape? Obviously, the starfall set it off, but
yeah. So physical is probably the best way to describe it. Smashing doors, breaking chains. And he kind of like pauses a little bit and kind of like appraises you as he's like realizing sort of the trail of the conversation and everything. I mean, he's like, well, so you obviously you haven't been in this area, but the orcs have become a bit of a problem. And there's something else at work here. I never did any research in mutation or anything like that.
like the Beastmen.
Yeah, yes, also the Beastmen from the swamps.
Like the bad orc.
Yeah, the bad orc. That was not anywhere within the purview of my research. I simply was studying orcs and the transformation of dead metahumans into orcs, the spread of orcs molt as a fungus, these reports that we've been getting over the months since the star fell of highly mutated orcs have been disturbing.
I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but what's your friend here have to say about all this?
And
any orc I've ever run across before.
Yeah, so he turns to Zugan and he's like, "Oh, forgive me. Zugan is special among the orcs." And he will indicate the like sort of metal, almost like implant in Zugan's forehead. And he says, "You see the metal object that we've placed in the skin and bone of his forehead?"
Mm-hmm.
And Zugan will kind of like, almost like subconsciously rub it. Yinzo will say, "Well, that, to put it simply, that is a device that nullifies excessive winds of magic. And as part of my research, I sort of developed this theory that an orcs might find itself free of its sort of chaotic, destructive impulses should we, remove their direct connection to the winds of magic. And so by implanting this device in Zugan's head, we have discovered that that's effectively the truth. And thus, as Zugan developed, he is one of us. He likes reading and is cooperative and helpful and a good friend." And Zugan kind of like, there's like the corner of a smile when he hears that, but otherwise is sort of sitting arms crossed, stoic.
Zugan, what do you like to read?
Well, before the star fell, it was a little bit easier to get access to new books, but I enjoy reading Dr. Yinzo's research, some poetry here and there, maybe a play or two that I've really enjoyed, but for the most part, it's assisting Dr. Yinzo.
I wanna test him, so I would like to do like an education to start reciting a poem.
Okay.
And see if he follows it up.
Sure.
Would be really go wrong.
Yeah, this could not. It's like can't think of any. I'll make up a poem and see if he finishes it.
Yeah.
Okay, don't think of any poem.
So he rolled a 29. So you start reciting some like maybe like rhyme that you think you half remember, and you see that he's kind of listening intently, and he's like, oh no. See, what you're trying to do was this poem by, such and such, the muse, and he will recite something that is like kind of similar to what you were saying. So he like mistook your bluff or whatever, but called you out on it. And so he was correcting you instead of the other way around.
I know he knows.
Yeah.
So your life just kind of improved then after your procedure?
Well, I've never known life without, the device here.
I'm sorry if I'm being rude. I just.
Oh no, this is all part of Dr. Sashiba's research, and I am happy to be part of it. We, the plight of the orcs race is this sort of supernatural inability to control oneself. And if I can be the first case study in steps that can be taken to free us, then such is my path.
It's very noble of you.
This is based on what you were saying before. Was our friend here previously dead
So
for the orcs process?
You remember how boogans were born, right?
Yeah, the mushrooms.
So basically, that process of growing the mushrooms from the body, like the dead body, and this, like, Dr.
It's like the
Yinzo is
same.
explaining it, is basically it's that idea of growing new orcs is basically like you grow a boogan and then it becomes an orcs eventually. And so during his birth, Zugan would have had this procedure or whatever.
Cool. Given this, I want to seed one other idea here.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, a while back, probably close to a month ago, pretty, I guess relatively recently after the star had fallen, me and a couple of my companions, none of the ones here at the moment actually, encountered an orcs named Korna. Do you recognize that name?
Yeah. Yes, Korna was one of mine.
And did she have this implant as well?
No. She never received it.
How peculiar. Now, how would it fit into your research if I told you that Korna was able to reject her base instinct to consume some kind of evolutionary black mass?
You're speaking of the miasma.
Oh, is that what it's called?
That is the name we've given it.
Yes,
So
we
met
found a large mass of miasma, and in reaching it, she had what was clearly a biological impulse to consume it and presumably become, functionally an orc war boss. And I was able to talk her out of it on her own. I had assumed, having you just told me all this, that she would have had that implant.
And so Yinzo and Zugan share like a meaningful look. And Yinzo, he leans forward, clearly like engrossed and interested, and he's like, I'm gonna need to know exactly what you're talking about. And if you're willing, he will have you retell sort of the story from beginning to end with Korna.
Including the cowtipede?
I
doesn't
will
want to relive that.
I will tell it. I will exclude the existence of Celine from the story. And I want to tell the story in such a way is that it, like, I don't leave any details out, but I drag sections out so that I can like engage him in conversation and try and like have like sort of like probing or leading questions as I go, so that I can get as much of what he knows out of him while he's trying to get things out of me.
Yeah, do like a rumor or...
Oh, hell yeah. I get a bonus to rumor when telling stories, my man.
Oh yeah, you got that worldly or whatever.
There you go, dude. Hell yeah.
Oh, you're
There you
fuck.
go.
I'm re-rolling
Oh,
that.
that's 85. I thought it
Reroll
was
that
like
shit,
65.
bro.
I'm re-rolling that.
Sure.
Jeez.
Holy shit, you
Hey.
made it though. Hot damn.
That was close.
Yeah, so as you recount to him your experience with the Cowtipede and Corna, and probably you're purposely leaving out like the Sash Bearer sort of
Yeah, like
part of it, like
yeah,
we
just like
came
we were
across this town.
traveling and this village asked for help.
Yep. And so he sort of fills in with this idea of, yes, Corna was one of the research subjects here. She lived in this castle, escaped during the Great Escape when the star fell. And, he must have ventured south from here on her own. And then when you describe, what she looked like and like the witchstone and everything, the Yinzo and Zugon sort of share a look again, and they maybe have like a very hushed conversation. And the doctor begins to reveal to you guys this saga that they've been experiencing. So basically, the orcs escaped, and at first, the doctor wanted to try and recapture them or bring some of them back. And over the course of the weeks and months, both in their own experiences and through stories and rumors and everything, have been learning of these same kinds of things that you guys experienced, where orcs have been seemingly visited by something and had these witchstone implants or whatever, and have been changed by this. And every single one of these orcs that have been changed in this sort of way ends up with some kind of, in one way or another, like, brood that they take care of. So they always have, something, if it's Bugin or rats or, octopi or, any number of things plus the ones
Octopi. Are there ocean orcs?
And he'll nod his head like we've had.
I definitely can't do that RP. I totally just forgot my character's never seen the ocean before.
Yeah, which is fine. But yeah, he will like, basically any like situation that you can think of with like these 100+ orcs. He will sort of tell you about these stories and reports that they've been collecting from all across this like Lost Province area. And you hear familiar ones of like the spider orcs, the bat orcs, that sort of thing. And they sort of regale you with this process of trying to figure out what the hell's going on, because again, their research here was all about like life cycle and potential cure and that sort of thing, and they know about the miasma and sort of this progression of consuming it to gain power and enhance this kind of connection to the winds of magic. And this change post-escape is what they're not familiar with. And so they... Go ahead.
So when I brought up like the element where they say like the shadows, did that still not...
So he knows he has heard orcs talk about being visited by the shadows, and he's heard stories of people telling him about, like, oh, I kept talking about the shadows and the gifts that they give. And he kind of sits back and he's like, so something is at work here. And I have...
think the shadows came from the heavens?
I think perhaps you are directly opposite of what I believe it to be.
Well, I suppose when I say the heavens, I meant when the star fell.
No,
Carried by the star.
my suspicion is that they've been here long before we have. Would you believe me if I told you that there are rats of peculiar size among us? Maybe
No.
living. You wouldn't?
I would refuse to believe if you said that there were rodents of unusual size.
Well, I must confess that below our cities lie a subterranean civilization of rat men.
Of rat men?
I shit you not.
No, you are lying to me, sir. Refused.
And Nab just blanches. She's like, no, don't like that.
And I suspect that, well, my research suggests that there's some conflict transpiring that we're maybe not aware of. The orcs escaping my lab when the star fell, I also thought it very coincidental that somehow all, 130 or whatever, were capable of freeing themselves from their, chains, living quarters, cells, whatever. He's like, I suspect that even then the Skurzak moved against me. And now they're using my research for their own twisted purposes, of which I can only begin to guess at.
Skurzak?
That is the ancient tongue for these rat men. That is what they call themselves.
And you think the shadows are them or gifted them there?
I believe that they are. It's possible that that is a. What's the word? Like dramatization? Like the orcs are trying to communicate what happened, and what sort of the experience is that something from the shadows talked to me, or something from the shadows grabbed me and stuck these crystals into me. So not in the literal physical shadows sense, but something from the darkness snatched me, and then I woke up and I was different. And that's what these voices from the shadows, or these visitations from the shadows, is how the orcs referred to it.
They're just not, maybe, I suppose in this case, unfortunately, quite intelligent enough to understand what's happening to them.
Yeah, or perhaps there's some kind of sinister magic at work or something like that might obfuscate in some way, or convince these orcs that they're perceiving something different.
Did you have any deal with the Strax or any contact with them?
I never personally did. I know that
because from the prequel we did.
Yeah.
I know they were not active, but they were in the show and they were known for to be there. So do I know anything?
He would tell you that he himself personally never had dealings with any of the Skurzak clans or anything like that, but he knew of, in Big Sar, it was kind of like an open secret, sort of like old wives' tale rumor of the Ratmen living under the city, and occasionally they would steal something or assassinate someone, but in terms of openly being active,
Shadow.
Yeah, they're not super obvious, but yeah, that he would tell you that.
Oh, did you ever lost any research book?
Now that you mention it, we have had ongoing issues with research going missing, presumably being stolen in some way. I had sort of been hoping that it was, myself or Zugan's simple poor memory or disorganization, but I now suspect that they have stolen from me in the past.
Do you have any lead on where we could find the cracks? Cracks.
I do have a lead. And this might sound a little bit crazy, but I think if you can do this for me, we can get the information we need to figure out maybe where the Skurzak are or what their plans are here.
I want to ask something more to him. Do you have any apprentice? For I guess the orc.
So yeah, Zugan is my assistant in my research. I do employ some of the refugees here now to assist, but
before the escape.
No,
You have
I never had an apprentice until Zugan turned out such a success. And then, so I mean, Zugan would have been active before the escape, if that was your question. But there was no other assistant.
If there was another assistant who might be being kidnapped by the Scrag.
No. So he doesn't think that any of his direct partners would have been kidnapped or anything like that.
And who do you report it before the Great Escape?
Where did I send my information?
Yeah.
Back to Big Sar. The government mages had taken over the facility there, and so they were sort of in contact. And he will sort of point to the ceiling. He says, the tine here that projects from the roof of the castle was once a part of the great multi-tine network of Voshek Tadberg that was at one point our saving grace and ultimately our doom.
Do you think any of the other great mages could be in league with the Skurzak?
And he kind of sits back and puts his hands to his chin. He's like, there are some of them that I wouldn't put it past them to align with a force like that. Unfortunately, since the star fell at least here in Purtzwell, news from the outside world has been quite slow, if at all.
In my days as a sellsword, many a influential man in Big Sar had dealings with the Skurzak, whether they knew it or not.
And he nods his head. He's like, that it doesn't surprise me. I tried to distance myself from that kind of metropolitan lifestyle.
Okay, well. What were you saying before? I was asking about the
so he will stand up and he says, well, your companion here, he'll motion to Lillian, mentioned that you are all quite capable in terms of handling yourselves, and it seems if you survived a cross-country trip to deliver these supplies, then that's probably the case. If you think you can do something for me, follow me to the lab here, and I will give you the rundown on what's going on here in Purtzwell. And he will stand and lead you all deeper into the castle, and that is where we will stop for the evening.
Celine's in her crate.
Sleeping, yep.
Nah.
And
Well, you guys are talking. She's exploring.
yeah, and we can do that next week for
Yeah, we're gonna
Celine's
find out
exploration.
everything he just told us is straight up a lie.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so
making orc babies.
he will lead you, and it's familiar to Lillian, deeper into the sort of more laboratory area, on his way to explain his pitch. And so that will be the 16th episode of Scarlet Sash Stories here on the ZweihanderRPG channel. We're sort of diving into the meat of our, story arc climax.
It's
And
unusual size.
yeah. And thank you all to my wonderful cast here. And thank you to everybody who was watching. Future things to check out from Fiends and Friends. Tomorrow at 1 Central, we'll be playing the world's most popular role-playing game, the 5th edition, in a fantasy high school campaign that is DM'd by our friend Cody here. And then this coming Wednesday at 9 o'clock Central, we will be playing our second session of the Alien RPG, also DM'd by Cody. In a very interesting sort of little one-shot having to do with investigating some kind of xenomorph attack on
If you want to see some death, that's where it's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that there will be a real risk that no one gets out of that one shot.
Which is perfect for Alien. And so then, again, on this next coming Friday, we will have episode 17 of Scarlet Sash Stories. So, Saturday, Wednesday, Friday, check us out. All of the shows are awesome. If someone wants to do our little command in the chat real quick, that would be sweet.
Yeah, hop in the Discord, check out our Patreon, our social medias.
We got all the socials. We've got Discord channel to come hang out and possibly play games on Wednesday. Yeah, awesome. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. Thank you to my cast, and we will see you hopefully on Saturday.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Can I? Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't have permission to raid. All right, well, I'll just click the button. See ya.